I can say that this carrot was rare, but I thought, man, forget it. Yo, Holmes, the Bel-Air.
What up, welcome back to the channel. I'm J and we are locked in. This is the recap of Bel-Air, and if you know, you know, it's the family reunion. And who are we introducing? Everybody. I mean, everybody from the South is coming all the way to California to come to the Banks residence. But guess what? We always got drama inside of the Banks house. We also going to find out that we're getting one step closer to finding more and more about Geoffrey and his troubled past. But before we jump into this and break down this and give the recap, if you like Bel-Air content, live after show discussions, tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Then hit your subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button and follow me on Instagram right here. Now, the Banks family reunion, big, larger than life. And of course, we got to have it at Phil's place, but let's jump into it and see where everything goes wrong, because nothing is ever easy when it comes to the Banks or in Bel-Air. So let's jump into it. This is the recap of Bel-Air. We start the episode off with Phil and Viv. Now he's trying to teach her how to play spades, for when the family comes in, we can sit down and we can win. Because you want to be able to run the table. You got to know, hey, no reneging. We got to make sure we know all the rules. So when brother come in town, we can try to win this, especially because we're at home. While Uncle Phil is teaching Aunt Viv spades 101, we see Carlton in the room. Carlton's getting his workout in, because at this family reunion, they play football every year, and whoever wins gets to keep the trophy. Now, Will's coming in and he found out about this, but he also wants to talk to Carlton about the Founders Award. Now, you remember, Will was entered into this. Carlton was the clear shot winner, but unfortunately, people are looking at him different because of the protest. But Will just wants to come in here and talk to his cousin and let him know, I'm going to go ahead and continue to try to get this Founders Award, because schools look at that. D1 schools, when they see that leadership, it makes you more qualified. The more things you have on your resume, the better chance. Carlton, he's looking at it like, all right, I guess it's going to be some competition. Geoffrey goes to talk to Phil and Viv because he wants to know about his son. Now, allegedly, he was adopted. Uncle Phil took care of it because Geoffrey had a troubled past. But they always want the best interest of Geoffrey. Geoffrey is like a family member. So what they're going to do is try to give him some information. And we see Aunt Viv give him the adoption file that Geoffrey has been looking for, because he wants to know where his son has been. Uncle Phil told Viv, hey, can you pick up my mom from the airport? We had her a penthouse. She didn't want to stay there, so just bring her to the crib. Once they arrive with grandma, you already know how mother-in-law is. She said, man, we were speeding, going 80 miles per hour, running red lights. The light was yellow. But grandma, she sees all the kids and she's happy. All the kids are happy to see grandma. Grandma also has a big duffel bag full of collard greens. Now, I don't know how she got that on the plane, but hey, she got them. But we're going to have to do a little bit of cleaning. After last week's debacle at Aunt Viv's art expo, we seen that Hilary was dating a guy named LaMarcus that made it to the NFL. Now, she's asking Will, have you seen Jazz? But Jazz was blindsided. He didn't know that his girl used to be dating a football player who showed up. Now, Will, just like me, I don't want to get in between that. I'm cool with Jazz. You my cousin. As long as y'all not hurting each other, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Now, they supposed to be making a pie. Sweet potato pie for the competition. Now, Uncle Phil comes over. He hasn't helped, but he's going to get all the credit for it if he wins. Will goes into Phil's office and he sees Geoffrey. Now, Geoffrey's looking at a file. We know that it's his son's adoption folder. Once he leaves, Will goes in there and he sees it, so he goes to talk to Carlton about it. Now, the Banks, they know that Geoffrey has a son. He was adopted. And it's kind of a secret because we don't want to bring up Geoffrey's troubled past, because Geoffrey is on the straight and narrow now. Now, Will wants to do a little more digging into it, because we know that Will also had the same issue with his father not being in his life. The whole family shows up. Everybody's here. I'm talking about pulling up on buses, 3-4 buses full of family members. Uncle Julius shows up. His son Kyle's here. Now, there's a little rivalry. There's always going to be that rivalry when it comes to brothers and cousins. So, you know, Julius and Phil, they going back and forth the whole time, because we got to get prepared for this football match. Winner takes all. The rivalry spews over. Now, Will is asking Uncle Julius, how did you get all of this money? How did you get all these cars? And he said, by the age of 20, I was hard working, hands on. School, was for Uncle Phil. I didn't have that opportunity. So hard work would pay off. Now you hear Uncle Phil saying, but school also gives you that background, that plan, that education. So you can know a little bit more about the business before you enter into it. Now these two, one a hardworking man, blue collar job. Well, at first he was. Uncle Phil, white collar. You see what I'm saying? But the kids are listening to this, and we see that Kyle's kind of getting picked on by his dad because his dad is a hard worker. And Kyle, he's kind of not paying attention, and he's leaving money on the board because when you play dominoes, if you don't call it, you don't get it. Now, Grandma pulls up to the kitchen. Aunt Viv's in there. Oh, this is a lovely time. But Grandma's saying, hey, we from North Carolina. We from the South, baby. We supposed to be having a fish fry thing. We gonna need all the fixings up in here. We got the greens. We about to be doing it big. Now, her and Aunt Viv, they aren't the closest, but that is what it is. Sometimes relationships are gonna be like that. But Grandma wants this fish fry, and it don't sound that bad on this Sunday afternoon. While all of this is going on, Uncle Phil trying to cheat the game. We got a flag football game, and who does he invite over? LaMarcus, Hilary's ex, because he's in the NFL, and why not have an NFL player show up to the party? Now, Hilary, she knows Jazz isn't around because Jazz was blindsided by her dating this football player and not announcing it to him. So she's drinking like, oh, what is he doing here? Phil and Viv, they have their issues, but every married couple does. Now, we found out about Erica, the lawyer that came in and gave Uncle Phil an offer. Now, he told Viv that he's not going to make a decision without her. But we got this spade game that we got to play. Now, they getting in here. Of course, no talking across the board. Nah, none of that. None of that cheating. Now, Uncle Julius and Grandma, they think they about to win because Aunt Viv seems like a novice. But she plays the hand the correct way because Uncle Phil taught her this morning. They win and everybody gets to celebrating. Come on, Grandma, you got to put that drink down. Ashley has one job, and that's to make sure that the elders are doing just fine. Now, Uncle Earl, he's not talking. She's brought him food. He's been on the couch chilling, and I understand him. I'm the same way. I'm just trying to relax, kick off my shoes and relax my feet, get a little bit of food and chill. Now, Ashley, she's not giving up, persistent. She's staying here because Uncle Earl, he ain't speaking to nobody. LaMarcus and Hilary have a one-on-one. Now, we know that LaMarcus is really feeling Hilary, and we didn't know if she felt the same way or not, but she did invite him. Now, it was for personal gain for the influencer house, but he's saying, listen, I changed, I matured, I want to be with you. I'm not leaving without you. But Hilary said, I got a man, and by that man, she's talking about Jazz. So to get even with her father for inviting LaMarcus, when it's time for the pie tasting test, she goes up there, she's like, this hot summer pie, it seems good. But then she ends up voting for Julius's pie. Oh my goodness, you already know Uncle Phil was upset, but Julius wins again. And we find out that Uncle Phil, he's a little salty. So he says, Hilary, you're going to vote against your own recipe? So we all found out he was cheating. We see Kyle and Carlton get closer. Now, Kyle comes up to his room. Carlton's playing the game. They sit down and they have a talk. But they're looking at their fathers and they don't want to be like that. They have a relationship as cousins. But the competition don't need to be like their parents. But we also find out that Kyle, his dad, Julius, has been hard on him. He's been telling him, if you don't do the right thing, you're going to mess up. Stop messing up. So Carlton sees how hard and how he's being pressured by his father. So he's like, you know what? You want to play the game? Let's not be like our parents. It's time for football. And we also found that Will did a little bit more digging and he talked to Geoffrey. Geoffrey had a troubled past. He was in a gang. So they had to put his kid up for adoption. But Uncle Phil and Viv were going to make sure that they had him in the right places at the right time, make sure he was treated well. Now, when football starts, you got to choose your sides. And this is where the competition starts to get stiff. I'm talking LaMarcus on one team, Will on that team, Uncle Phil on the team, Carlton on that team. And they going at it out here. I'm talking about shake and bake, y'all. Shake and bake. I'd be lying to you if I said Carlton wasn't cooking Kyle. I mean, he's going in. The last play, 28-21. Winner takes all. You hear Julius saying, Kyle, don't give up. Make it happen. Hold on. Uncle Phil steps back. Kyle fell. Carlton's wide open. But Carlton sees how hard Julius has been on Kyle. He drops the ball so they can win. Carlton stepped up. Carlton said, let me look out for my cousin to let him understand there don't need to be a competition between us two. If you getting treated right by your father is what needs to happen, then let it happen. Julius wins the championship. After the game, Julius and Phil, they have a sit down. Now, they old, and I know the pain. You got to put a little bit of ice on your back, on your knees, your elbows. Everything that moves on your body is going to need some ice. Now, Uncle Phil, he's the younger brother. And you know that competition is there. But what we find out about Julius is their father used to push him extremely hard. He even told Julius, you can't go to college. That's something that's set aside for Uncle Phil. So that's why when we hear him saying hard work pays off, he didn't get the opportunity to go to college because his dad always diminished everything that he was doing. He wanted to go, but he couldn't. So hard work was his route. Uncle Phil is hearing this and he never knew that their father told him that. So everything that Uncle Phil got, Julius was sacrificing for because their father didn't give him an opportunity to go to college. He was setting it all up for Uncle Phil to do it. And right after that, Uncle Julius goes and talks to Will about the same exact thing. Never let people underestimate you. Be who you are. Yeah, we may not got the school background, but if that's something you want to do, Will, you want to go to school, you want to get in that Founders Award, then go ahead and do it. Because Julius is the hard working man and he made it. 20 car dealerships. So Will hears this and he's like, you know what? You're right. Let me tell Carlton I'm not withdrawing from that. I'm going for the Founders Award. Now, the Banks family reunion, it has been a smash. Beautiful. Well, this year what we're going to do, we're going to recognize the heroes that we have within our lineage. And Uncle Earl, thank you for your service in World War II, a Red Tail Tuskegee Airman. Thank you for that. He gets the trophy from football. Everybody is happy. But inside, someone has other things are brewing. Hilary's texting Jazz. He texts back, come through. But little does he know, she done went outside with LaMarcus because they dancing to their favorite song. And Jazz said, come through. I'll leave the door unlocked. But she two-stepping in the backyard. All right, there you go. Let me know what you think about Bel-Air. Was the family reunion a smash? Was this something that you would participate in? Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd be over there drinking up all the drink, eating up all the food, dancing with all the family members. We kicking it. I'm over there with Uncle Earl. I'm hanging out. We kicking it. Let me know what you think about this episode. If you like Bel-Air content, tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna have the after show discussion where we go and break down each individual character more in depth. I'm Modi J. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.